While some kinds of cooking allow for improvising, baking is more scientific. That doesn't mean it's hard. It just means that it's important to follow the recipe carefully and use accurate measurements so you get the best results. Here are our favorite no-fail tips to get you baking like a pro. Make your measurements more exact by filling measurement cups to the top, then use a table knife to scrape off the extra. Baking with brown sugar? Be sure to pack it first. Press the sugar into a measuring cup firmly, adding more and packing it down until you have the desired amount. This compresses the crumbly sugar and makes sure you add the right amount to the recipe. Let's talk about baking powder and baking soda. Baking powder and baking soda are both leavening agents. That means they create gas that helps batter to rise and expand, creating a light and airy texture. Baking powder is a mixture that contains an acid. When cooked, it acts on its own to make carbon dioxide without an added acidic ingredient like buttermilk or cocoa powder. Baking soda is used in recipes that already have an acidic ingredient. Baking soda also encourages browning, which means it's good for recipes that brown as they cook, such as chocolate chip cookies. Tip: before you start baking, it's a good idea to grease the pan in order to prevent sticking and burning and make cleanup easier. There are a few different ways to do this. One is to use a non-stick spray to coat all sides of the pan. Another way is to drizzle a small amount of high-temperature safe oil into the pan and use a paper towel to wipe it onto the sides and bottom. Be sure to check baked goods periodically, especially towards the end of their baking time, to see if they have cooked through. Tip: it's never a bad idea to set a timer to remind you. Another tip: if you notice the edges of a baked good like a cake, pie, or bread are browning too quickly in the oven, try wrapping tinfoil around the edges to keep them from burning. How do you know when a baked good is done? Here's a simple trick. Insert a toothpick or knife into the center. If it comes out clean or without too many crumbs, it's finished. If it comes out wet, it needs a few more minutes in the oven. Remember, baked goods will continue to cook and set after they come out of the oven. Tip: it's a good idea to let baked goods cool in the pan or on a wire rack to ensure even cooking and cooling throughout. Even though some things are best enjoyed while still warm.